But anyway, cat.
Get her. Give her some treats. Let her.
Eat shit, son.
Anyway.
So, what I've read is that he's in it, or he's referenced in it as a reference to, I think, the new fucking plot line of how he straight up goes to Tatooine to hunt down Obi-Wan.
Wasn't that already a thing though? Like Obi-Wan and Lars took him out.
See, that's I mean, something I learned about like when I was in middle school. But I always thought it was kind of weird.
I thought it was silly.
My whole thing is I always just kind of saw it as.
But
Darth
that was also
Maul
the first time I ever heard about his robotic legs.
he
I know.
was-
I always,
he
as a
was
fan,
killed.
like as a kid growing up with Darth Maul, part of that has always been like, he could have lived.
Like,
But realistically,
no.
he fell
Obi-Wan-
down a dark chute and got cut in half.
Shit. Fuck.
Like organs, spine, and then down a dark, deep chute.
And it's like, I understand he
There's
is super
gonna be
badass,
nothing left of that
and
body.
people didn't want to lose him, so they tried to write. Cause that's what I think.
That's
is
what they
weak.
do
That's-
with every person that everybody likes.
That's what I think is weak with a lot of fan bases, especially Star
They
Wars.
can't just let
is
shit
the
go.
constant retconning and the constant not being able to let anything go.
Just
Like,
let it go, man.
it's like somebody's dead.
Enjoy the
Oh, too
character while
bad.
they were there. Enjoy them for
Like-
what they were. Don't fuck them up by trying to add to it and ruining what you originally loved about them.
Yeah. So like, I think bringing Darth Maul back was a huge mistake, and then I think giving him like a sibling. I don't see. Here's the thing.
Only one.
Again, I'm gonna have to. I have to do my research. But and again, I don't want to talk about this either. The Clone Wars series did a lot of retconning and just like bringing in characters.
That's why I could never watch it.
So anyway, before I get carried away with that whole thing,
You
one of
get
the
too
things I
much
think
on
they
a
did is they gave Darth Maul like a brother or like a half brother or something weird,
unnecessary.
and they both become like good guys. They like come back from the dark side,
Even more necessary.
which is silly. So
Darth Maul's whole thing is that he is darkness.
I can't really remember where I'm going with this. I think it's just the whole point of Star Wars fan base and writers not knowing how to let shit go.
Yeah, and when you make the fans the writers,
That's just a big mistakey.
which is hard to do because most directors up and coming nowadays grew up on Star Wars.
Yeah, which
So
is cool.
Anybody
So it's like,
you get could be.
here's the
your
thing,
fan of Star
like the
Wars.
writer. What I encourage the writers to do is like if you wrote fan fiction when you were like coming up as a writer for Star Wars.
That doesn't make you a writer.
No. What I mean,
Star Wars.
So, okay, here let me start with another thing leading into this. So, something I've read on Tumblr,
Even if your
and I
fanfiction was
agree
really
with,
good.
is that writing fan fiction is not a bad thing.
No.
It's a good way to train yourself to be a good writer. You know, taking stories you like and
Expanding on
adding
them
to it.
like your own personal touch.
Hold on, I need to make sure I'm hitting the right fucking button before I jump to my death. Okay. Oops!
Gee.
I forgot those explode.
We need to find you some cheat codes.
Nah, I'm not gonna bother with it. Like I said, if we were playing the PS2 version, hell yeah, because I'm
Grenade!
not gonna get punished for it. But in this, I don't want to screw up my saved game and stuff like that.
I've still
So-
not played Battlefront. Just now remember that. Like this is the new Battlefront games.
No, I plan to cover the second one after I get a PS4. I'm gonna do let's play
What we
that
should do
one
is
and
go back to the original.
The original one. I'm gonna do both. We're gonna play both.
So much better. Anyway.
So, but sort of like, so writing your own fan fiction, writing a lot of it, it's good. Keep doing that. It'll help you
Strengthen
improve as a writer. But if you sort of just like depend on it and then just don't write anything original,
Yeah.
that's where it gets like, a bit maybe unhealthy. So that's what I'm saying. Like
'Cause
if
then
if you're a writer for Star Wars and you wrote a lot of fan fiction when you were growing up, just use that again, but like change the characters. Change like if you wrote like Luke Skywalker fan fiction, change it to like a whole original character. Like make your own badass Jedi.
Skywalker, or not Skywalker. Fuck.
What the fuck? You tried to like change it up, but you didn't.
I was trying to remember his original name, which is this guy's name. I don't know why I just totally
Starkiller.
Starkiller. Yeah.
Which is, they fucking
fucked up my own joke.
Snuggle up. Oh shit.
Yeah, that's again why I liked.
Oh,
fuck you, Tracy. I loved fucking Rogue One.
Yeah.
I thought it was a pretty good movie. I thought it was
I thought
different.
it was going to be stupid, but then they did exactly what I was
liked
saying they should have
the
done.
aspects of it that were a lot more of the
me.
war aspects of the Star Wars universe. We never see enough of that stuff. And characters that were all new, and sure, we didn't have to get to know them that well because, of course, they were going to die. But I like meeting new characters. You know, I don't want to see the same recycled people over and over and over again, getting the Han Solo treatment.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I like, Finn and Rey and Poe, but I want them to get more developed, more interesting.
Yeah.
And
that one cost me. Anyway, man,
I'm hoping for more and less of the old, like more of the new, less of the old. New is always better.
That sounds fun. Okay. Anyway,
except not always. But for Star Wars, new is always better, unless you want to do Obi-Wan, because he's an old character. But here, do something new with Obi-Wan.
That is the one origin movie that the fans are asking for. Anyway,
not even origin, because Ewan McGregor wants to do it.
Origin, but
so like
continuing after.
That would be cool.
Anyway.
That'd be really cool.
I didn't want to get on that yet.
Anyway, yeah, let's back to the original point at hand.
So yeah, what I guess obviously what I'm trying to say is, instead of trying to hold on to old characters that we know and love, make new characters that we can get to know and love. Yeah. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I guess so. I understand the trouble with that kind of stuff nowadays is the thing I keep coming back to, especially with this game. The Jedi and Sith storylines don't get enough love, in my opinion. Yeah. So that's why, in new Star Wars movies, everybody keeps trying to, in new stories, like the TV shows and stuff, we keep relying on old characters we know about, because it just doesn't make any sense to make new characters, because most of them, Order 66 happened, so that kind of fucked everything up. Yeah.
But
not
necessarily.
That doesn't mean we can't. How about we go back again? Let's go back in time again.
Yeah,
to
before
Knights of the Old Republic
anybody
stuff.
we ever knew, before they all came around, or do the Sheev movie.
Even before Knights of the Old Republic. Shut the fuck up. Before Knights of the Old Republic, something you hear about a lot in Knights of the Old Republic, especially since as we discussed, BioWare, they're great writers, so they're constantly talking. So something that the characters discuss a lot is like the Great Jedi War or something like that. So it was like
the Mandalorian War.
Massive
Everybody
war.
seems to give a shit about the Mandalorian, so go ahead and show us what the fuck are the Mandalorians.
I'm okay with that too, because the Jedi were heavily involved in that, because it was like
that
Mandalorians,
could be interesting. That could please fans and newcomers alike.
We'll see. Also, you got a lot of people who are like huge.
That's the thing, is it's got to be really adult. Kids can't exactly come to just straight up slaughter
that's
of
another
a
thing.
race.
That's another thing I was going to discuss about
the kid-friendly aspect of Star Wars.
So
and how I liked how Rogue One veered away from that.
Well, that's the thing.
Ish.
You can only occasionally do that, because something that I'm like really having trouble coming to terms with right now.
I get that it is a kids thing.
Because
kids love it.
Yeah,
kids
love it.
And parents want to bring their kids to it. Parents that love the series want to get their kids into it, because that's what parents do.
That's what sucks, is unfortunately, unlike most things, Star Wars is one of those few franchises that probably just is not allowed to grow up with its fan base.
Not really. Which I want more side movies for that reason, because I want to see the more adult aspects, the stuff that isn't necessarily kid appropriate. But I want to see it with shit that is new to me.
So that's I was gonna come back to that with the whole toxic fan base thing. Is we got the fan base bitching about this and that, and the whole thing that they don't understand is this isn't for you guys. You guys want to constantly rip on things in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
It's for kids, man. Like I hate it too. Believe me, I have trouble coming to. Like I don't hate that. I don't hate that it's for kids.
Scene.
I don't hate that it's for kids. I just hate that like.
It's just some of it's just come on, get along with it. I mean, that's what people thought about the Ewoks.
What I point about this game, I hate that there's not enough, violence. People getting chopped up, lightsaber action.
Because the thing is, the most interesting stuff to us would be boring to kids,
or
just
really
too
probably not
graphic for
okay
them.
for kids. But again,
that's why I feel like
what's okay with
we
violence
should
in
do
Star Wars
different
is
subgenres of Star Wars now.
It's lasers. It's lasers, bruh. There's no
Yeah.
real blood except for that one weird.
But that was the
scene
point of it.
in,
That was the point of it, is that kids could still watch it and it won't get like an R
No,
rating for blood and
the
all
first
that shit.
Star Wars movie
Yeah.
when,
when that dude in the bar,
when
the only
shit,
blood.
what's his name? Why can't I remember his name? I know his name.
Can't fucking remember.
That's okay. See, well, Robot Chicken kind of gone downhill over the years. Kind of just
Maybe it's been a while since we've
they're
watched
trying
it.
too hard. But their Star Wars specials were always my favorites.
Yeah, she was fucking hilarious.
Because they always made some of the best jokes. But what I also loved about it is it also helped me learn
Because it was nearly
characters' names and stuff like that. Like they went in depth with most characters people don't even think about.
They did more with Star Wars than with of what I've been wanting.
They did
what
the Star
movies
Wars.
did.
They've done better Star Wars parodies than almost any other fucking show out there.
Yeah. I saw the Family Guy ones.
Because they aren't trying to
fucking
make a whole
sucked.
long story with it. They're actually all they're doing is making skits. Sometimes that's all you need. You just need to make skits.
Just make small skits about silly characters.
Or just
Because
make
that's also the
immature
thing too.
jokes
Is
here and
people.
there. You don't need to drag it out.
Despite how ridiculous it's gonna sound after this long ass conversation that we're having, Star Wars is not that serious. It's goofy as fuck. It's silly
campy
as
as hell.
fuck.
That's kind of what I want to
The
bring up
fact
about.
that people take it so seriously is really fucked up. Because even I'm one of the first people to admit, you can ask me if I like Star Wars and I'll say I love it. You ask me why, I can't tell you.
I know. Same,
I don't know.
Same.
I don't know.
Didn't we
It's
have this
stupid as fuck.
discussion before? I kind of explained
So
what I like about
all
Star
this
Wars.
shit that annoys me isn't even really that deep. It's just irritating when watching it and thinking about Star Wars stuff. I love the universe. I love little aspects, but all in all, it's still pretty
Wankers.
dumb. And anybody can admit that. That's why I like Dune so much, because Dune is almost the Star Wars that I would get into now as an adult. If I were to see Star Wars for the first time as an adult, I would want it to be more.
Who's
Dune.
doing it? Can't see. Okay, sorry.
I'm gonna
But
keep
yeah.
talking about Dune because I can't help it.
Let's try not to get too
I
into
don't know.
it.
I'm not gonna get all into that yet. I'm just saying that.
Broken glass. That's what I meant to do.
Whereas Star Wars is kind of very silly, campy sci-fi. Dune is more of the very philosophical, real,
I
and
cringe
kind of
when I bring this
intense.
up, but Star Trek is
Yeah.
more for adults, while Star Wars
which
is
is
more
why
for
I do
kids.
kind of want to get into
But
Star Trek.
I
But I
don't.
want to get into Next Generation because I can't stand
I don't.
the campiness of the original.
I mean,
don't know why.
yes.
So it is controversial, but I kind of hate it.
Yeah. I mean, I watched it.
It's just
I watched,
I
Sir
don't
Patrick
even
Stewart.
know.
I like Picard.
I've
but,
seen
like,
episodes of.
I watched it when I was
New
little, but I
Generation,
didn't really
and-
care. I watched it because there was nothing else on.
It was still enough to be I feel like I could get interested as an adult though. I
not me.
know that much, and I've seen bits of things, and I'm yeah, this sounds like something I could be into now.
Not me.
But
I'm too much of a
and that's why people don't.
child.
As far as I know, as far as I've heard anyway, people haven't liked the new Star Trek movies that much, the fans of Star Trek, because they're too much like Star Wars now. There's too much action, too much war. And
Which
most of the things that made Star Trek Star Trek.
It goes against what Star Trek's about.
Because Star
so,
Trek was a lot more of just the hope for
I'm
this
supposed
is
to be, there it is.
this is what our future could be, very optimistically thinking, very we're not at each other's throats anymore. We've progressed beyond that. We're now expanding the universe and shit. One race, trying to make peace and just learn about the shit that we find, Whereas people find that boring. I mean, I'll admit I find it boring.
I do.
I hope for it in real life.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But cinematically,
Star Trek, I think
it's
is
kind of boring.
It's an ideal
it's hard to.
future.
It's
But
hard
that's probably
to
what I don't
watch
like
and be
about it,
interested.
because I'm like, this is something that should happen.
But it's not.
Wars-
It's more like you watch Star Trek and you're like, why hasn't this happened yet?
Yeah.
And you get frustrated. Star Wars, you can just go in, turn off your brain, and have a good time.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think we figured it out.
Yeah. So, I feel like there was another point I really needed to make.
Sucked out the window.
I was trying to get him, but he, for some reason, the pressure threw him back inside. So.
Here, pause for a second. We're not pause the game, just pause conversation.
Oh, okay. Well, hurry up. Kia! Joy! Now here, I can't even really remember what I wanted to say before. Come here, I'm sucking out your soul. Okay, that's everybody. Came from that way, so going this way, I think. Or not.
Don't give me that look just because I've got the bladder of a child.
Did I? Oh, I came from here. Okay, I was going the right. I saw that one. I'm like, I came from there.
Anyway, I'm back now.
So, oh, I forget.
Shit. There we talk about Star Wars being not so serious.
So yeah, unfortunately, it is for kids. And
Yeah,
it's
because
something
it's
that's really
exciting
hard for me to like come to terms with, because I'm like maybe it'll be easier for me to come to terms with it when I have my own kids, because I got like a lot of things. I'm like excited to expose my children to Star Wars.
Just Star Wars movies, like new ones anyway, like they get hard to watch when you're an adult. And it's just like, oh god, can we get past the BB-8 making funny scenes?
Yeah,
please.
Like,
oh, he shocked
that's
himself.
why.
Oh, he's got to use his 20 arms.
Again, I don't want to get too into it because I've got a lot of things to say
about
the whole
BB-8.
thing. Well, no, just about
this motherfucker.
God damn it! Guess I'll just do this then.
Oh,
Boom.
hey, look at that.
I'm dead.
Take that, you space Nazi.
So, backtracking a little bit more.
Yeah,
I brought up
points.
I was going on about how I never really had a favorite Sith.
Yeah,
I guess I could sort of consider. I know his last name is Malik. Him as like a favorite, but unfortunately
he's not.
Okay, so here's the thing. Here's
like
here's the thing with this game. I think I was saying in the very beginning, but I
never got to the point.
So, the story for this game, considering this canon, I could take it or leave it. I don't really care. It's just when it comes to this game,
definitely not the second.
for me, I don't really care about this game being canon. If it was, I could be cool with it, but I don't really care.
It's just a fun fanfic.
Oh
so
shit!
what you could say.
Oh shit!
You're pretty dead looking. Up.
Oh, I was ready to go check that guy's health. Stupid fucking. Okay, I'm gonna take a different approach to this
pain in the
fight.
ass.
Yeah, I thought like if I kill him first, I can just save the little guys for last, but they're part of my problem, so I should probably kill all them first and then focus on his
Scream in the dark.
It shouldn't go to sleep.
But
So, I just again, I love this game for the badassery of what the Force can be, what the Jedi, what it's showing the Jedi can do.
yeah, and that's why I know
Because
that, like, you
there's
want
a lot
Grievous
of
to be your
there's a lot
favorite
of
Sith, but he
familiar.
just doesn't qualify because he doesn't use the Force.
There's no he does. I mean, jeez, but
No, Grievous.
oh, Grievous, yeah, no. See,
Yeah,
I
I'm saying
loved
Grievous.
Grievous. I didn't.
That's what I'm
hear-
saying.
I
He
didn't
doesn't
hear you
qualify
say, I didn't hear you say Grievous.
for a Sith.
How you fucking?
Cause he
dick.
ain't got nobody.
asshole.
Without a
Stop
physical form, you can't really focus in on the force. You can't utilize it. You can't take it into you and use it back out when you're just a robot and some organs.
Okay. I don't really remember how to fight this fucker.
He was just very good. A lightsaber duelist. I don't know. Maybe you'd throw the explosive ones at him.
I'm trying, but he keeps getting some good hits on me.
Thanks.
See, and I can't,
Jeez.
for some reason, aim.
Fuck. Just jump and swing.
What?
Up you just stubbed your toe.
Oh, that's what it looked like. So, but, okay, getting back to the point, I do have a favorite Sith now, after thinking about it a little bit.
Is it Chief?
Fucking dump this sauce on your head. Asajj Ventress.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was saying when I was playing Elder Scrolls, and I was basing my elf off of, like, the concept.
I was gonna say,
Of
'cause I know you
Asajj.
had her figure for some reason.
We do. She's up there, I think, with Grievous.
So I don't know that much about her. I know she was very, like, assassin-like.
Yeah. No, she is. I wish I could remember. How?
Oh, your
You know,
voice
you
is
gotta-
in the yellow.
I know, that's what I'm like, god damn it. I'm not even, like, really using it. These little wankers.
You need a better lightsaber.
Give me...
Do you have any
This
other
thing.
lightsabers yet? Oh, what the
I don't
fuck?
have any other lightsaber colors. No, see, that's what I'm saying I didn't like about the second game is, like, in this, the colors are just cosmetic.
They don't give you shit.
Well, like, in the second game, it was like, they're cosmetic and they
Give you perks.
give you, like, different perks, and I thought that was kind of stupid.
I thought that
Like,
it was like that in this one too. I thought it was the PS2.
No,
one
you
that
can
was more
find
just
you can
cosmetic.
find crystals that give you perks, but in this, the colors are just
Oh
colors.
yeah, that's right. Okay,
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I
he's,
remember
like,
now.
ignoring me now.
I think he's glitching out. Up level up.
Oh yeah. Okay, I need to.
Now you don't have to die so much.